Toolbox.
What's up, everybody? This is Jesse and the panel, and we're here for episode 72, Comic Conversation. And holy shit, we have a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of things happened today, actually. It's funny, I always say this, but I'm going through the week, and I'm like, kind of a light week on news, not much. And then just stuff starts dropping. So today we had a Venom teaser. We're going to touch on that. Big changes with the CBCS ASP VSP program. A lot of letters there, acronyms. But y'all know what that is. And then some other trailers throughout the week as well. And it's day after, what is it called? New Comic Wednesday. So we have a book to tell you about. Did you guys read it?
Oh, yeah.
X-Men Red?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. And then some stuff with Batman, Shazam, all types of stuff. So we got a good show for you guys tonight. But we want to hear what you have to say about these things too, especially that CBCS thing. So go ahead and leave some comments when we get through these topics, once we're on them, questions, whatever it is, and we'll do our best to go ahead and address them, answer them, shout them out, whatever it is. Quickly, find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all that. By tomorrow, that should be uploaded as a audio file. If you're coming to us from there, check us out Thursday nights here on YouTube, and you get to see our ugly mugs, all of us. We try to put up some video, not video, but like pictures and stuff now and then. So, anyways, enough plugs. Let's go ahead and do some shout outs. That's what they're waiting for. Shout outs. Jason Smith, no. Wait, I'm confused.
He's there too.
Well, I see Redbeard said second, but I see that as the first comment. Okay, so they were figuring it. Okay, so anyways, Redbeard's here. Jason Smith is here. Donnie Weber was third, and thank you for the compliment, Donnie. You're cool too. The Doom is here. What's up, Mahalos, bro? Comically Flawed is here as well. Glad to have you with us. And Jeff Johnson and Big E's NY Warriors represent. We also have Jack Yo. Jason Smith again saying hi. So we got a full house already in here. Cool. Woody Warren's here as well. And I see Splash Page Comics. All right, cool. Chris will be here in a second. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's tell me what you guys have been doing since last show. Any
Go ahead, Justin.
Anything fun and exciting in your world?
Well, I wasn't here last week, so
that's true. You were at NXT. How was that?
Wrestling.
Dang old wrestling. Hey man, it was actually really cool. Like they put on a good show. Like it was a condensed taping, so it was like it started about 6:45 and was over by 10, but they taped like 3 different airings of shows, So you would see like progression of storylines kind of. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool just to kind of see that and how they work that angle in a much smaller environment too. Whereas you're normally in, thousands of people or whatever. This was like a couple hundred,
Nice.
So it was
must
pretty
have been pretty close then. I think I saw you put up a picture on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So it looked like you were pretty close.
Yeah, not too far away. But like I said, it was a small arena and it was a deep arena. You know what I'm saying? So it was stadium built. But yeah, it was a good time. Comic stuff though, man. Like I got this awesome Slab Daredevil 4.5 number 10.
Right on. Woo! Nice.
I got that from Edwin.
Hey,
you were way more excited than I thought you were going to be about that, dude. He's being real modest, like putting on a front, communicating back and forth.
Yeah, no, well, it's Daredevil number 10, man.
I think you said, because you showed it on Sunday Morning Comics, I think you said that's your lowest Daredevil to date, right?
I think it is. My other one's like 16. Yeah. So yeah, that's a, regardless of grade, like that's an awesome book. Silver Age book. That's not a, piece of trash. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean,
no, congrats on that too.
Yeah. So good stuff like that. And normal other stuff.
Cool. Before we get over to you, Edwin, J. Rod Ham just popped in. Alex the Comic Recorder, all about comics. J. Rod Ham again. Philly Superman. Jennifer Courtney's here as well. So we have a full house, folks. Just for you, Edwin. They want to hear what you've been doing in the past week.
It's a good thing Chris ain't here yet because we got an Eagles fan in the house.
That's right.
Oh.
He's probably trying to gather himself together before he comes on. Guys, I haven't been up to a lot. I've been actually really busy pressing books. A lot busier than I've ever been before, which is great.
That's really
very
good.
thankful. Oh, absolutely. But I'm going to be going to a comic book show tomorrow. Going to be going to the North Texas Comic Book Show, which I'm really excited about. It's something I do annually, and it's actually a show that they put on 2 or 3 times a year. Nice low cons, $15 to $20 to get in, not a lot. Nice. But we're going to have there's going to be a Secret Wars reunion. Jim Shooter, John Beatty, Mike Zeck, and even Jim Starlin is going to be there.
Wow.
So some classic creators, Marvel creators.
Yeah. So you're bringing some Thanos stuff?
I don't have a lot of Thanos stuff, but I that's actually what I got to do as soon as I get off here with you guys. I got to start getting books to get signed. So
yeah, for sure. That's the thing about those. You got to prep, and then plan it out, maximize your day. I have a con that's coming up at the end of the month, and it's one day. It's only Saturday, but they have like Chris Claremont and like some good names going. I would run through the list, but you get the idea, But so it's weird that like all that like in one day. So when I say you have to plan, you really have to like plan it, that you don't have the whole weekend or to do it. So so Chris, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in.
Sorry about that. We had a little late dinner, but that and Facebook changed the way it looks on Internet Explorer, at least. So I was like trying to find the link, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" But anyway. So I'm assuming you guys just got done or are in the midst of discussing that CBCS.
Nope.
Change. No.
Yeah. No.
You had the whole weekend. I'm like, oh.
We were running late. We're just telling folks what we've been up to in the past week as if they really care what we were doing.
Oh, me? Yeah. So work and just, taking care of the baby. That's it. Okay. Like, I don't have really much to add. I didn't, nothing spectacular happened for me. I'm just kind of
yeah. Okay, that's cool. Just living life, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, family life.
I wish I had a more productive and fun life going on, but I don't right now. So
enjoy what you got, man.
Yeah,
that's
as long as it's stress free, that's all you need.
There you go. I spent a couple of days sick, so that was kind of like what I was doing for a while. I finally got over to Phil's comic shop. Brian B is here, by the way. What's up, brother? Nice to have you. It's one of my favorite shops, actually, but I just, for whatever reason, I haven't gotten there in a while. So I was really happy to get in there and, cruise around, check out some new books and stuff, chat with Brian a little bit. Good time. So I got to get back there again. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the topics. The first thing we have is something that dropped today, and it was a teaser for the Venom movie that's coming out in October. So we get a little bit of ways to go. Keep in mind this was just a teaser. I'll tell you what I thought. I feel like it did a really good job of setting the tone for the movie. It's going to be a horror movie, obviously. It set the feel for what I think is going to be the full movie. Yes, a lot of people, and I kind of agree with it. They were like, oh my God, they didn't show Venom. What the fuck? Or what the heck? This is a family show. I gotta edit myself.
Jesse goes, where am I? I don't want to.
Yeah, seriously.
Unsub.
That's right. There go all the thumbs down. Dang it. But at the same time, it's a teaser. Like, if they had shown Venom, people would be like, what the hell? They just pulled the whole Doomsday stunt on us.
Oh, we saw Venom.
Too much, too soon. We saw a little bit of the symbiote. in a monster can, right?
Yeah, Justin called it.
Yeah, that's right. But no, I feel like, when we get the full trailer, if they don't show Venom then I'm gonna be like kind of like upset about it. Not upset, but just like, what were you thinking, Sony? But for the teaser, I think it was appropriate, especially given how far out we are from the movie. But anyways, what do you guys think about it?
I thought it looked like, honestly, I thought it was more of a Wolverine-ish type trailer, man. It was just like, there was a lot going on, sordid past, and there's people chasing him. He's causing accidents for some reason. Like it's just it's really strange. It doesn't seem like it's something where, you know, it doesn't seem like it's something that would flow in a Venom movie. It seems like something, you know, out of like a Wolverine movie where it's just like you have somebody that has like kind of just a distorted memory of what they've done and everything. I really can't see someone trying to hunt down Venom. I mean, especially hunting down Eddie Brock, knowing full well that the Venom symbiote is you know, on him or attached to him. That's a bad idea. I don't see too many people going for that. So, and then the part with the, you know, with the basically like the businessman standing over the symbiote is like, okay, so yeah, I'm just like, okay, so is this guy gonna be like trying to get the government to weaponize this? It's like, see, we can rule the world if we just have, you know what I mean? I need to see more before I go ahead and say, oh, like, you know, before I say good, bad, or indifferent. I just think that you know, for a teaser, it's kind of a weird teaser, like just for the tone of it. But I mean, we'll see what happens, because once they reveal a little more, maybe, you know, make more sense.
Yeah. So you got, you know, the ultimate Venom origin where he's like grown in a lab. So I feel like grown, like the part where he's screaming, he's probably being, you know, merged with it. Probably really painful. I'm guessing he escapes, and that's why they're chasing him.
Yeah, like if you like look closely while he's in like that CT machine or whatever, you can see that there's like in the scan there's a pouch thing attached to his arm. So I would assume like they're putting it in him or on him or whatever in that situation, because then when he screams, you can see the bottom of his neck, the veins are black.
Yeah, they have like auto injector things now that lasts like 24 hours. Like if you, instead of going, like say for like chemotherapy, you go for your last treatment, and then like sometimes you have to go one more day because of like low neutrophil counts and stuff like that. But they have a thing now where you just stick on a patch and it auto injects the next day, you know? Yeah. So it could be something like that. You just auto injects throughout the day.
Doom makes a really good point. If you know nothing about Venom, then you still don't know anything about Venom.
Pretty much. I mean, so I guess as a teaser, it accomplishes something. Like it's just like get you at least to say, what the hell is that? That's about it. And then it's just like, all right. Then someone tell you what it is, and be like, oh, like, well, you know, is there more to him? You know, I'm not sure. And then it's just like, okay. Then you figure out that you know that there's more going on that you need to take a look at.
Yeah, I've been hesitant about this movie kind of since we first learned about it. Like even just the fact that Sony was doing it. You know, they tried with Sinister Six and stuff. Obviously, we know what happened with that. But the whole idea about not having Spider-Man in it, you know, it's going to be a horror and stuff. Like we've talked about it for a long time on this show about just, you know, as things develop, it's like really. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit relieved to see something I actually like. And I kind of feel as well like, you know, Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, Riz Ahmed, pretty good quality cast. And if you look at like Tom Hardy especially, what did he do? He did Dunkirk recently. He did Mad Max, Bane. He was Bane, which was another, you know, drug injected hero. But you know, he picks good roles. I feel like he wouldn't have just picked any old crap role. You know what I mean? So
well, I thought it was I mean, I didn't like it too much, and I think the biggest reason is because we didn't get a lot of Venom in it. But you know, I was kind of going back and forth with people on Facebook pages because some people are like, it's just a teaser, and I'm thinking like, well, look at the teaser we got for Infinity War. Look at the teaser we got for Black Panther. We've got some pretty good quality teasers that really got you wanting to do a reaction video. This made me glad I didn't do a reaction video because I would have been crapping all over it. But I don't know, man. From this trailer alone, I think Jesse, you, and even Chris are on par with pretty much the way we can predict the story's going to fold out. It's going to be maybe he was a lab experiment. And he gets the symbiote, but he turns good. And then, of course, the bad guy takes the carnage. And then you just have all these symbiotes, which are basically lab experiments. You know you're not going to get the whole Secret Wars origin. This is going to be completely
Planet Clintar. Yeah.
Exactly. So you kind of get the sense of the direction that they're going with it, which I'm fine, because let's just face it, man, to do Venom the way he actually comes into play in the Spider-Man universe, nobody's going to cast 100 heroes and villains to create Secret Wars just for a Venom movie. So you kind of have to go a different route. So I'm fine with the direction they're going. I just don't want it to be crap.
Yeah. No, I agree. And yeah, definitely Lethal Protector, putting it on the other side of the country from New York, where Spider-Man is, it separates them geographically. So it kind of makes sense in that regard why Spider-Man wouldn't be in it. I do remember John Schnepp from Collider saying that Tom Hardy was on set. Wait, not Tom Hardy. Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah.
Tom Holland. And he's going to be in the movie as Peter Parker, but not Spider-Man. That hasn't been verified or anything since then. But, maybe.
Maybe. It's going to be like Peter Batman Parker. And Suicide Squad.
Maybe he does like a field trip. He does all the lab stuff. So maybe that's a lab he's doing like a trip to. I don't know. I'm just
my guess though is like everything we saw in the teaser happens in the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even see the movie. We didn't even see really anything that's going to happen with the story or develop. We just saw like some stuff before he becomes Venom. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Comically Flawed has a nice comment here.
Well, he does. He said, as I would say, right in the trash.
Right in the trash.
I'm not putting in the trash yet. No. There's another. If we discuss it later on, that is already in the dumpster. I'm telling you right now. That's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
trust me.
Doom says,
there's something that's going right to the trash. Don't you worry. It's going to the trash. not just yet. Right now, I'm watching with a watchful eye, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about what's not going in the trash, and that's the Deadpool 2 trailer. That thing was badass. Let's talk about that.
That was fun.
What do you guys think?
I liked how they did it. They they introduce Cable, and he's all like just harsh, and they're showing the future and everything like that, and then you just see his arm is green, and then he's just like. Deadpool just hops in and is like, can we, this isn't even finished yet. Can we get something done? He's like, I'll do it myself. Watch. And then so he gets toys and he starts like animating, through the toys and everything, trying to do the trailer. And then
the Toy Story thing.
Yeah, Woody from Toy Story.
Reach for the sky.
Sheriff Deadpool.
Sheriff Deadpool.
Yeah, that was funny. And then they went back into like the actual regular trailer. And there was a bunch of stuff that just popped up that you would see, and it was just like
yeah, we have Shatterstar showing up in there. That was
Shatterstar. Yep. See, I didn't see that right away. I had to look again. And I'm like, oh wow, that's him, like way in the back. Yep. And then it's just like, but he's got basically a team, going on. So it's just like, is that going to be the makeshift X-Force for the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's the 6-pack, like one of Cable's teams, kind of like a proto X-Force thing.
See, I can see that. I can see that being the 6-pack. That wouldn't bother me.
Yeah,
I mean, you change a couple characters in or out, but I mean. Get an X-Force movie after that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the big surprise for me, I guess one of the big surprises was Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Like, was he holding out on us? Nobody announced he was in the movie. Just shows up in the damn trailer.
He's probably not going to have a big role.
Have they said who he's going to be?
I think he's Bridge.
Bridge? Okay.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's other speculation as to what character, but that's kind of the...
Sluggo, too, but it's just like Sluggo was only in a couple comics, but, I mean, Sluggo meets a pretty, like, gruesome end real quick, so it's just like, I don't think that he would be that character, but...
Yeah, I don't know. There's another character on the left of Deadpool in between him and Domino, and I don't know exactly who it is, but I really want it to be Phantom X.
It might be,
yeah.
That would be cool.
I thought about that when I saw it. I was like, that might be Phantom X.
I mean, the white and stuff, but who knows? You don't really see enough of them. Like with the headgear thing with Shatterstar, it makes it obvious it's Shatterstar. Yeah. With that guy, there's like face people. And I think TiVo's here, Lords of the Long Box. He talked about this on his show last night. And I think that he had a name. If you did, put it in the chat because I think there was a good idea of who it could have been. For that character. Domino looks cool. I agree with you, Jackio. Who else is here? Gomez Comic Collector. Stave Puff is with us. Mr. Unknown Comics Guy. Gray Legend. Keep those comments rolling, guys. DMC. Could be. Yeah.
DMC and the place to be.
Yeah. So we'll find out. Those trucks are pretty cool. They're made by a company called Oshkosh. They do like these big giant military vehicles. Pretty badass. Anyways, what else about that trailer did you guys like? Let's go with Cable looking pretty badass. I haven't really seen him in a while.
Yeah.
So,
I liked I liked how he kind of took that approach where when they started shooting at him, like it was just like he wasn't concerned at all. He just kind of had a look of like, really, all right. And he put his arm up and then just started like just throwing people all around. It was a really, really cool trailer to watch. Like I honestly I'm excited to see it. Like I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I know that a lot of people had some reservations when they started showing like what things were going to look like and how Cable was looking a little different. And some people were just like, it seemed like the change for Domino people embraced right away. They're like, she's hot. Yeah, like I like this. And I remember hearing a little bit of grumbling about like how Josh Brolin came across as Cable. Like they like the idea of him being Cable, but then when they saw the costume, like I don't know about this, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. Like honestly, I think that they and with all the speculation with the director and all the rest of that stuff, I think that they've really put something solid together that is going to be pretty cool. So May is going to be an awesome month.
Oh yeah, that month is stacked.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like, what is it like? Just about every week, a good movie comes out.
I think there's like one weekend where there's not a comic or something related film coming out.
So it's just like, I mean, that whole month, I basically have to find a babysitter because it's like we're going to the movies. You know that, right? So
yeah.
Movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, there was a character I don't remember seeing. What was the guy? What's his name? Who was making the bet on Deadpool that he was going to die? The bartender.
Weasel.
TJ Miller.
Did he show up in the trailer? Because I don't remember seeing
really
him.
briefly. And Blind Al was in there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
he had some allegations against him, but they were like, "Oh, kick him out of the movie." But they'd already filmed it, so they're like, "Okay, he's going to be in this, but future installments, probably not." But that's up to corporate, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, like Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yeah.
She got some new powers.
Or she just got stronger.
Yeah.
I love that sound when
she
she's
was
powering up. Yeah, that's a cool sound. It's like I don't know. It's cool. Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. That's probably because they moved New Mutants to next year, my most anticipated movie, comic book movie of the year. Actually, it's probably tied for me. Oh shoot, because you get Infinity War, Black Panther, Ready Player One. Damn it, I can't pick a most anticipated. It's too much. It's too much. Too much.
Honestly, it's gonna be my most anticipated is definitely Avengers. Just because I want to see Thanos on screen. I want to actually see them come together and see basically the Marvel universe take on Thanos. That's me. I mean, is there enough great movies coming out this year that it's just gonna be a fun time to go out to the movies? Yeah, but I think that one tops it for me.
Yeah. Contender, thank you very much. Appreciate that, man.
$1?
Yes.
Super chat.
Yeah. Whoop whoop. Super chat. That's right. It's best. Yeah. It's better than the movies, right?
Dollar
Spend
holla.
$1 and you're here with us for like hour and a half, 2 hours. That's a good investment.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't bore you too much. I'm just kidding. All right. So we're talking about May releases. What else comes out in May? It was a couple movies that we just got trailers for, right? So let's talk about Infinity War.
Yep.
And Captain America with its gauntlets.
Yep.
Looks pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
More shaped like kind of his original shield. So, but mini
The
version?
pointy one.
Yeah.
Not the round one, obviously. Yeah.
His original shield. His original shield was not the round one.
Right.
Everybody forgets.
That's right.
But no, I mean, based off what he recently had with that new like shield that came apart, so I can kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know that at some point in this movie or 4, he will get that shield back. So
got to. Yeah, he's got to. So when they say get this man a shield, and then I think I've heard that it's Shuri, because she's like they're introducing her now, but she's supposed to be like one of the smartest people in the MCU.
Right.
Smarter than Tony Stark, She's like super intelligent, but she's been like, hidden secret there in Wakanda. But apparently she's the one who designed that shield for him. So I think that's pretty cool.
The gauntlet shields?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see like what they do because he's very he's used to being able to throw something or something like that too. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how those work.
Maybe it shoots out little like foam tubes,
Maybe.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yes.
I don't know.
Silly string. He's just gonna blind everybody with silly string.
There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Well, this trailer isn't much different than the one we've seen before, is it?
It's mostly the same footage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I thought was interesting when you see Spider-Man and he's on that like circle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not in his Iron Spider-Man suit, which I thought I remember him being in the previous trailer in the iron, like with the gold and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in that one, it looked like they were closer to the ground. In the newer one, it looked like he was just in his Spider-Man suit, but it also looked like the metal thing he was on was near space. Like it looked way, way up there.
Way up. Yeah. So definitely interesting. I think that Black Panther is supposed to take place pretty much right after Civil War.
Okay.
So it's not like the most recent in terms of timeline for the MCU. So I don't think it's going to be butting up in terms of story to Infinity War.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing it Monday, so I haven't seen it yet. But that's kind of my inclination based on non-spoilery stuff that I read. So
you're going early.
Yeah, I'm going to our early screening on Monday. So yeah, pretty stoked about that. They're doing like a live Q&A thing through Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be doing that first on the IMAX screen and then showing the movie. But you can follow along with the Twitter thing through through Twitter. So they'll have it there Monday night. I think it starts at like 6:30. It's with the cast and the whole crew, live Q&A with them. So we'll see what they say. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm going to be trying to do my review for that movie like as quick as possible. So I'll be doing that. But of course, we'll be talking about it next week on the show. I'm going to assume next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume you guys are going to be seeing it pretty quick.
Yeah. This one I'll see quick. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking.
I hope to see it this weekend. I'm sorry, next weekend. I'm not 100% sure what my wife's plans are, like what we're going to do and how it's going to go about, but I'm going to do my best to see it as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
Somebody send Chris a bootleg.
No, I don't need a bootleg. It's nothing like that. Just, it's just trying to
get condone that.
Because, she likes the Marvel movies and everything, and she's all about it, but it's just, figuring out who's going to watch the baby and all the rest of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where, like, this is actually, one of the challenges now, because like this summer's gonna be so many movies, and it's just like, all right, who can watch Allie? Like, who can? So it's just it's a new challenge for me. I didn't have that much going on last year like that. I think there's only a couple movies that had come out that I needed someone to watch the baby for. But
bring her with you. I mean, how awesome would it be for baby's first movie to be Deadpool 2? You know what I mean? I think
that'd be spectacular.
Cool. Yeah, at her young age, so I'm sure it will make an impact on her. Yeah. Alex will be back shortly. He had to pop out for a minute. But going back to the Spider-Man thing, Lord of the Long Box said, pretty sure he changes to Iron Spider as soon as he hits the upper atmosphere. And he goes on to say something else. Oh, I said it out of order. Dang it. Okay, so I guess he kind of switches his suit around that time frame. Doom is in a new spot, so hopefully he'll put up a new video soon. We always like Doom videos. And let's see, we have Contender saying all good, hopefully saving money, can't wait for the next haul. Right, we want a Doom video. Make a damn Doom video. Spidey Van is here. What's up, Spidey Fan? All right, cool. So let's move on to something that, well, I guess it started right with the Super Bowl. And that was it's kind of weird now. We get like not just a trailer, but we get a teaser trailer. But now not only do we get that, but we get a teaser for the teaser trailer. So it's like, oh my God. But they did a little quick thing. I know, right? The little quick like 40-second thing during the Super Bowl. I guess because like a normal 30-second spot for the Super Bowl this year cost $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, yeah, normal commercial, not including like production, like paying for the actors and stuff, costs about $100,000.
Wow.
For the Super Bowl, it was $5 million.
So that's why there have been fewer and fewer good commercials every year.
Probably, yeah. That's a hell of a lot of money.
There used to be so many good commercials each Super Bowl. Now it's like not good.
What's up?
I think it was only a year or two ago that it was like 2 million.
Oh, it goes up every year.
Yeah. So they're already up to 5 million after a couple of years. Jesus. Yeah, how much did the Tide ads cost? I don't know, but it made a lot of people hungry apparently. Yeah, bad joke. But what was I gonna say? So the next day we got like kind of a more full trailer for it. So what were your thoughts on that? Did you like it, or
Solo?
For Solo.
Oh, so
Han Solo movie, a Star Wars story.
I thought it was good. I liked it. I thought how they put him out there was pretty good. I mean, you got to see a lot of different types of stuff. The guy who's playing him doesn't quite sound like Harrison Ford and really doesn't look like him. So you have to like kind of imagine that that's Han Solo. But I mean, overall though, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good movie though. Like I think that it looks like it's going to be a decent one. I know a lot of people had reservations, but I think that they're going to keep that going.
Theater?
So,
yeah, I think the biggest issue was they waited so long to drop the trailer because, well, we get a Venom trailer 8 months before the movie comes out, and here we get our first Solo story trailer 3 months.
Yeah,
May 2 months, something like that.
It's fine. I mean, they had to give The Last Jedi a little bit of room to breathe in terms of marketing. So that's how I'm explaining it away. But I don't know. I liked it. My first impression was I liked it. We've spent so much time on this show worrying about, with the history with production. They lost Chris Miller and Phil Lord, who wanted to actually hire an acting coach for Alden. And then some other stuff, as it went along, there were all these things that made us like, oh my God, this movie is going to be horrible. What's going on? But then we got this, and I saw footage that I really liked. I really like Childish Gambino. What's his name? Donald Glover. Yeah, I think he's going to be really good as Lando. I really like Emilia Clarke. Not too sure about her character, but I like the look of her. And it's kind of cool that we have Brienne of Tarth and Khaleesi now in the Star Wars universe. And then, I don't know, I did like the whole freeze frame thing. And the Millennium Falcon looks different, man. The whole front with the pinchers, it's different.
That part hasn't been broken off yet.
It's different. I think that Lando kind of modified it for like a speed run through the Kessel run.
Okay.
do that.
They're trying to go from the spice mines and get out of there really quick, so they have to make it like aerodynamic.
Well, but the running gag with the Millennium Falcon was though that something always fell off. Something always got broken or fell off. So probably just a piece they're gonna run into something and it'll fall off.
I always thought those things were supposed to like open and close to like, pinch against, like if they were going to do cargo and push it, like those pictures in the front would like slide open and close based on how wide their cargo was that they were pushing. But I don't know if that's ever been confirmed. Jason Smith said Sana Solo. I think he's talking about Tandy Newton. And she's a character named Val, actually. She's not going to be Sana like a lot of people were thinking. Mm-hmm. So, and again, we don't know who or what Val is. It could be like a nickname, but apparently the Aluminum Falcon. Yeah, apparently she's not Sana Solo. So take that as you will.
Well, the big issues I've been hearing is that if you think about it, Harrison Ford, he's got kind of a deep voice. And he's charming and got charisma, and you don't really get that yet from this. And I know there hasn't been enough shown of this new actor supposed to be playing Han Solo. And then the other thing is when you think about Lando, you can't help but think about Billy D. Williams, and he was very kind of slick and smooth and suave. Like, man, I don't know if Donald Glover can pull something like that off. I mean, just knowing Donald Glover and what he's done in the past, I don't know, man.
I think he can if he's playing that role, and he has to overemphasize, maybe change up the way he talks and stuff like that. I think he can do it. I think if you look at him, if you look at him as how he was as what was it, spoiler or whatever it was? No, what was it? And so basically,
dad.
Huh?
When they're like spoilers, dad, or what's her name's dad?
No, he was Miles Morales' uncle in Homecoming, and he's playing just a street guy. You know what I mean? It's just like, and if you've seen him in other things, he's played just, I think, a pretty good range of characters. But if you have him, it's just like, all right, look, you have to pretend to be Billy D. Williams. Okay, that's easy enough. He just do his, he'll do his Billy D. Williams impression, I guess, and kind of just have that whole, demeanor about him. I think that he can do it. Like, I don't see him as a bad actor. I think he's a pretty good actor. I think he's got a lot of talent. I just think that I also think too, because he himself will say that, like, he's a fan of comics and all the rest of that type of stuff. So I think that this is a role that he really wants to be in. So for him to kind of take up that mantle is going to be something that he's I think it's something that he's going to do well. I think he's going to pretty much show the character the respect it needs.
I'll go opposite you guys and say that this movie looks like crap.
Thank you.
It should have been. They should have just made a Lando movie with Glover. That's all they should have done. There's way duo. Well, there's way less like baggage in our minds about Lando. We realistically only see Lando a couple times in the original trilogy, right? He's only there a few times. Whatever. Does some things, not a lot. You could have a lot more fun with a Lando movie and get people into it. Han Solo, we're just all going to pick the movie apart. That's all we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
All that's going to be done with this movie is it's going to be picked apart where, no, Han wouldn't have done that. Chewie's different. No. So,
it's not only that, but I think that the Last Jedi was so bad to a lot of people that I think a lot of people are not going to see this film. You can just see it all over the internet that people are just really holding their reservations. People are look, all right. I don't want to take over just the show, but there's a reason why The Last Jedi rates the worst through user ratings and reviews than any Star Wars movie, including the prequels. This is the worst user rated
people
film.
Have a voice and they just want to get mad over nothing. The movie made tons of money. Like, you can't say, like, here's the thing, that movie made a lot of money. Highest grossing film of 2017, right? But everybody hated it and it was terrible. It was, what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. That's just a lot of people just talking shit because they can, because a few things didn't go the way they wanted maybe, and they got mad. Some people legitimately didn't like it. But most people are just sitting there just upset about, nothing. And it's just like, it's just easy to go ahead and just, I hate. You know what I mean? It's just like Dave Chappelle with the hater of the year club or whatever. The haters ball.
Well, I'm not hating, man, but there's a reason why this even The Last Jedi made $700 million less than the previous film. That says a lot. And the funny thing is, if you go back to what was the very first one? Was it The Phantom Menace? Mm-hmm. Like that fooled a lot of people. I think it crossed 1 billion, 1.5 billion, and then the drop from the next one was significant. And I think the third one after that which I think the third one was even better out of the first three, but even that one I think did worse financially than the previous two. So my point is that let's face it, more than half the people who saw Last Jedi hated it. And because of that, we got to be honest, because of that, it's going to affect sales going into this next film, especially only being 5 months away. It's going to affect, people are going to wait till they see reviews first, and then they're going to go see it.
Here's what I say. Anybody who hated it and can't do it, you won't be missed. Get the fuck out. No one cares about you. Plain and simple. Because my thing, what really annoys me the most about it is that people just sit there and get all mad, and it's just like I'm telling you, I would say a good 75% of those just hate-filled anger responses are people that try to do exactly what Mark Hamill told you not to do, which is go into the theater and try to recapture your childhood. He said, don't do that because you're not going to get what you want. And all these fucking idiots went in there and I'm going to see my childhood again. And they didn't get it. And then they went, oh, you motherfuckers did the wrong thing. Get over it. It's not your story. It's not for you. It's to get other people involved. It's for the younger generation. They got your money. They got your money a million times over with the trilogy, with the second one, with the DVD, with the Blu-ray. I mean, they've released the same movie to everybody. The same 3 movies, really, about 25 times, and everybody's bought them over and over again. Your money is already counted and gone. It's about getting the kids that are now in their teens into that movie. That's plain and simple all it was.
And I mean, too, look, not everybody's going to like every movie, and that's fine. Everybody has their legitimate gripes. You either liked it or you didn't. That's fine. But you got to respect the people that did, or conversely, the people that didn't. I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. You saw the review that Chris and I did, hopefully.
Right.
We went through it. Yeah, we had a fun time with that, man. But, it wasn't a perfect movie by any means. And I could sit here and I could, science it up and like nitpick the shit out of the movie. And it would make it seem like I hated it. And I could probably do that with any movie. Just nitpick the shit out of any movie. You know what I mean? But it gets to a point where you just have to let some of that go. Just sit back and enjoy it, Yeah.
I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, I highly recommend you just put on your blinders until you go see this movie. Don't watch what anybody has to say about it. Don't listen to any reviews, because I just don't have any feeling whatsoever that they're going to be high praise or anything like that,
There's going to be, Black Panther has a bad review up already. Everybody else is A's and 90%, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. But then there's that one guy who has to go and hate it. So, that's always going to happen with these movies. But you just have to,
Buck Nasty signed in and said, I hate Black Panther. For everybody who knows Dave Chappelle, Buck Nasty.
Yeah.
One of the haters of the year.
That's right. So we'll have to see what happens with this. Like you said, I think it will be kind of, again, like the last movie, kind of divisive. There'll be people on both sides of the fence.
Probably.
But we really have to do a good job of not disrespecting the other people just because they have legitimate dislikes about it. You know what I mean? Or people that did like it being like, what the hell, are you stupid? How could you like a piece of garbage like that? So NES says that the new Star Wars isn't for him. No hate. Respect for that.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's all well and good. It's just everybody.
Don't call someone else an idiot just because they do like it.
Yeah, well, like I told you guys, I'm not even a Star Wars fan. I'm not. You don't see me in cosplay going around, dressing like freaking Luke Skywalker and all this other stuff. It's just you know these stories. You know these stories as a kid.
Halloween costume, Luke Skywalker. Evan.
What's that?
It's a 2018 Halloween costume as you as Luke Skywalker.
No, I'm good. But I don't know. It's just it's just like I said. It just wasn't it because it wasn't so good. I'm not gonna go out and see, because we're talking about Solo. I'm not gonna go out and see Solo the first week. Probably not even the second week. I'm gonna wait and see reviews first, and then I'm gonna make a good judgment, or I might just wait till Redbox. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to give my money right now at this point to Disney for this whatever they got going on. So,
well, you may not be happy. You may not be happy when I mention this. There's at least 10 Star Wars movies or shows in the works. You have the Rian Johnson trilogy. They just announced another trilogy from David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who were on Game of Thrones. So that's 2 sets of trilogies, and they also said a few shows or series for the streaming service. They're going to have some stuff up there. So a few, that could be 3. So that's 3, 6, 9 right there. Not to mention all the other anthology movies that are potentially in the works. So you're looking at 10 plus movies in the next I don't know, 5-10 years at least.
Oh yeah, we said that weeks ago that was going to happen, and it shows the confidence of Disney that they're extremely confident. I don't even think really more so of their own doing of putting out a product, just more of the brand of Star Wars itself and kind of banking on that.
I mean, for the amount of money they paid for it, they're gonna get every dime back plus more. Like, I mean, just because you know, regardless of any of it, I mean, that thing is, I mean, Star Wars itself is definitely, you know, just a franchise. If you have it, you have to use it. You have to get it out there because, you know, it's just that popular.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me say this, and then I'm going to end because I know Jesse doesn't want to stay on Star Wars. No, if anybody's out there watching, go look at Star Wars: The Last Jedi and Star Wars: The Force Awakens and Rogue One toy sales. Down 47% from previous films, and they're already in the dollar bins clearance. People are not buying these toys, which Disney makes a lot of money off of. If you watched what was it, the Toys That Made Us, I think they said they make about 60% of their income just on toy sales alone. So go watch reviews about those toys that people are putting out, and you'll see that Disney is not making as much money as what you might think.
My question about toys, though, would be if you look at that number, what's the correlation to people that are kids that just don't play with toys and now are downloading like the Star Wars app and playing the Star Wars video game? You know, so I think it may even out there. Toys is probably just something that's
I mean, it's possible, but Jesse bought. Jesse, didn't you buy what was the latest Star Wars video game that came out?
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, did you like that? Was that good?
I have fun with it. My big thing with the first one was that there was no campaign mode, and you get that with this. Yeah. It's really amazing. Like, if nothing else, that series is just beautiful. Like, there's a map that's on Crate from the last movie, and it's really nice. I also have this game here. Shoot, it's uploading.
Uploading. It's the problem with the biggest problem with that one was just that Electronic Arts decided to was it EA? Yeah, it was EA. They decided to really, really, really ramp up on microtransactions. So it was just to the point where, like, if you wanted, that's the strategy game.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was to the point where if you wanted to get characters or to unlock pretty much anything, you had to basically. It was going to take so long for you to do it by just playing the game that basically you would have had to play like something like 10 hours a day to unlock one or two things. So they basically wanted to get you to spend money on it. That was a big criticism on that game. But overall, it's still a fun game. I mean, if you like shooters and stuff, that's a fun one. But
yeah, exactly. So it is fun. All right, let's move on. Next thing we have for you is Conan is going to be going to Amazon. So that's pretty cool. We talked about Game of Thrones for Star Wars. They're tapping a Game of Thrones director as well for this. Miguel Sapochnik, I think his name is.
Okay, so direct.
Yeah. So it should be pretty interesting. We don't know a whole lot about it yet.
We need good Conan. We need good Conan.
I didn't see the last movie, but was the last movie really that bad?
Yeah, dude, I turned it off.
Yeah, it kind of was.
I turned it off. I will normally sit through a horrible movie, but this one, like, it hurt my heart, so I turned it off.
You're like, no, not Mike.
You know what the funnest part about
hashtag not my Conan.
All right.
They waited so much time to make a new movie, and I know that, like, I mean, they set up at the end of actually the first movie for that King Conan story. And it just never came to be. Like, they just couldn't get. I mean, and I think it's because Schwarzenegger's stardom, like, just completely exploded from that point on and everything. But it was just like they could never get him back in to do that King Conan movie. And it looked like, I mean, honestly, to have him back doing that would have been incredible. But
yeah. So this guy. Oh, go ahead.
No, I say I'm hoping that this is good. Like, I'm looking forward to it.
The director that they're going to have won an Emmy for the episode that he did for Game of Thrones. And he's also, I don't know if you guys have seen it. He did the first episode for Altered Carbon for Netflix.
I haven't seen that. Is that any good?
Altered Carbon's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of Blade Runner-y sort of sci-fi dystopian future thing. Yeah. It's cool. It's kind of like a sci-fi ghost story.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So similar to The Ring, I guess, or not The Ring, maybe.
No,
not quite. No.
Because that's what they give me. Like, when you be like a sci-fi, but like this, it's just like, all right. Because if it has like that influence of
The
Japanese
Ring was like mysticism and death.
That's all I'm looking, because I know, like, when you bring in those elements from like Japanese horror movies, I always think The Ring, because there's so many that are so similar, but it sounds pretty cool though. Like, I have to check it out because I actually have Netflix, and we have the Amazon Prime, so once Conan's up and ready, we can start watching that. So I'm looking forward to definitely seeing that.
When was the last Conan film? Was Arnold in that one, or was there one that?
That was Jason Momoa. That was Jason Momoa.
Right.
Aquaman.
Was that like in the 2000s or something, or what?
Yeah, that was
what,
2012?
a few years ago.
2012.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more along these lines coming up. Game of Thrones is ending. We were just talking a week or two back about the future. We're going to get this. So I think there's going to be more like that fantasy realm genre that there's going to be a push for something to fill that gap for the GOT fans like myself. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be we're getting like 2 spinoffs from Game of Thrones. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But different showrunners or same guys?
Yeah, if you're a fan of Trap, and
Is Jesse getting choppy?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Did I cut off?
No, you're good.
Is that me?
Yeah.
You're back.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All
right, so Conan.
I was curious, when you're saying about the spinoffs for Game of Thrones, is it the same showrunners or different people in charge of it, or is that like too far down the road to know?
I don't think we know too much about it yet.
Okay, all right, just curious.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing we have on our old list here is X-Men Red. Number 1. Y'all read it?
I didn't read it, so I'm gonna let you guys talk about that.
Okay. I didn't read it either.
Okay.
So this is a Justin moment.
There you go, Justin. Tell us what you thought.
All right. This is actually all right. Tom Taylor, I think, did a good job with this book. He started off right. Like, this feels like an X-Men book in the beginning. Like, they're finding new mutants and trying to help them, whatever, normal X-Men stuff. That's very cool. But then Jean Grey decides that, the world's messed up. She needs to help fix it somehow, right? So Jean Grey brings together like all these world leaders, ambassadors, Black Panthers there, and basically she reads all of their minds to try to come up with a solution to the mutant issue, and things like that. So it was a really, really cool thing. It kind of reminded me of like the original Highlander movie where like he, at the end of the movie, he like wins, right? And his special ability, the quickening, is that he can help people around the world understand each other's thoughts. Like, that was the whole thing. So it's what she's trying to do is take everybody's thoughts and figure out a solution for the mutants, right? And the way she does this is then go to the UN Assembly and basically make her case for the mutants to be recognized as a sovereign people or something of that sort. I don't really remember. It got fuzzy there at the end. They were going to have a vote on it and whatever. And so if the book ended right there, I wouldn't have had. I didn't really have any issue with it. It did not. It did not. The end. Basically is Jean speaking with this ambassador who was, really opposed to what she was trying to talk about. And out of nowhere, this ambassador's head explodes. And of course, everybody blames Jean. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she's done this before, but one of the things I'm thinking about is why doesn't she just put her level of understanding of a certain issue into everybody's minds? Instead of like trying to get them to understand, just take her understanding and kind of implant them in other people's minds.
Because then the book would be one issue.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the end, it's really not that bad. I wished it would have gone a different way or something, but you can see where she was getting too close to making a breakthrough, right? There's someone who doesn't want that to happen, so they kind of set her up to look like the bad guy here. So, but overall, I thought it was a really solid issue. I like the art, so I'm on board for issue 2.
Highlander.
Yeah, Highlander. You Spanish peacock.
Who was the guy? Oh, Clancy Brown. That's right.
Yeah.
He was the Kurgan.
The Kurgan
ladies. He was great.
Who was it? Him? He was like, I have something to say. It's better to burn out than fade away.
That's right.
I'm a worm. Yeah, that's my favorite scene. That and when he cuts the top of the car off, he's like, "Mom!" Like he's awesome. Like he's so good in that movie.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, it's a good movie. All right, cool. So should people pick it up, or should they wait for it dollar bin, or just don't even bother at all?
If you're an X-Men fan, yes, pick it up. If you want this to be like your gateway book into the X-Men, maybe not. Maybe stay with Gold.
Fair enough. Okay. How was the artwork? Was it good?
I liked
it. It was.
I mean,
okay, cool.
I didn't have. I mean, it seemed very comic book. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the oversimplification. A lot of books that Marvel puts out now. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm waiting on the I think it's Pepe Larraz, the Young Guns variant. I got that. I had to order it.
Nice.
Jason Smith got the Mr. Lee variant. I can never pronounce that first name.
Yeah, it's like hyphenated. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I got the Scotty Young. Cause I love Scotty.
The white cover, was that the one?
No, Scotty Young. It's the Nightcrawler cover.
I wanted.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wanted the Liefeld cover, but that was like $60.
Yeah,
wow. So, didn't get
their feet. $60 and no feet.
There were feet because Namor's.
There were feet. Whoa. Okay. All right. Cool. So that is X-Men Red #1. All right. Next, Shazam. We haven't talked about that in a while, but we've talked about it for a long time. Finally get a little bit of production details about it. Like we've been talking about that movie for years, right? It's been in development. You know, is The Rock going to be in it? Is not? This and that. So we finally get an idea of what the movie will be about. And I kind of get, if you want me to read the synopsis, I will. But I kind of get like a Spidey Homecoming sort of feel from it. Like, you know, this kid just gets the powers. He's trying to figure it out. You know, like the wide-eyed, like, you know, this is awesome type of thing. So I think it's going to be young, kind of like fun feel for it, which is different than how the DCU has been thus far.
I like that.
So
I think that's the best way to do it. Shazam should be a fun movie. It should not be a dark movie, you know?
Yeah, you're going to have Billy be a kid.
And be happy and excited to be a hero, you know? Like when he's Shazam, that should kind of reflect our ideal of Superman. Just be like, I'm here to help, and this is awesome, you know?
Exactly. Did you guys read the synopsis? Or you want me to, you want me to read it, or you want me to skip it?
Read it.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it.
Okay, so it says, ready? I'm going to clear my throat. Okay. We all have a superhero inside of us. It just takes a bit of magic to bring it out. Billy Batson's case, by shouting out one word, Shazam, this 14-year-old foster kid can turn into the adult superhero Shazam, courtesy of an ancient wizard, who is Ron Cephas Jones is the wizard. Anyways, still a kid at heart inside a ripped godlike body, Shazam revels in this adult version of himself by doing what any teen would do with superpowers. Have fun with him. Can he fly? Does he have X-ray vision? Can he shoot lightning out of his hands? Can he skip his social studies test? Yeah, I could do that without powers. Shazam sets out to test the limits of his abilities with the joyful recklessness of a child, but he'll need to master these powers quickly in order to fight the deadly forces of evil, controlled by Dr. Thaddeus Savannah, Mark Strong. So, sounds like fun. Gets the powers, and then there's a bad guy in town. He's going to learn real quick. One thing that is interesting is Dwayne Johnson's company is on as EPs for the project. So we don't know that they haven't announced Black Adam, but Dwayne Johnson is attached to the project. So who knows? Will there be a cameo by Superman? Thomas Churchill asks. They have not announced that, but that is one of the speculations that there may be a cameo. So,
yeah, we talked about this. I think that they're going to have some kind of collaboration from some previous DC property in the film, because unless it's just really, really good and lighthearted and maybe even funny, because I mean, you can go in a lot of directions. Having a kid giving him superpowers.
You gotta have money.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think that they need to have some, like Superman or Batman, probably more so Superman, since he kind of, you're reminded of Superman a little bit when you see Shazam. But I just don't know if he could hold it on his own.
We'll see.
Well, but you got to think they'll probably throw in. We may get some of the Marvel family, like Mary.
There is a character. There is a character named Mary. She's Grace Fulton. She's part of the Foster family. We only have her first name, and they haven't said if it's Mary Marvel or not. But there is a confirmed character named Mary as part of the cast.
Well, Mary, because Mary in the comic is his real life sister, like Mary Batson, right?
Mary Marvel
she becomes Mary Marvel.
Mary Marvel.
But is it? So she's Mary Marvel no matter what, even when she's not Shazammed up and everything.
Yeah. Oh. Everybody, I just want to let you know that Gomez is in his car.
Gomez driving down the road.
Drive safe, man. No accidents.
That's right. Be careful. Stop at those stop signs.
Right.
Yellow means go faster.
Yeah.
Is Philly Superman still here with us? Haven't seen him comment in a while. The reason I'm saying that he's Philly Superman. This is going to be set primarily in Philly, so he should be happy with that. Even though the actual shooting, if you remember, we were talking about that from a little while back, but it took place up in the land of old Canada, up in Toronto. So there you go. Pretty cool. We finally got like a synopsis and a little bit more there. So that project is moving forward pretty good. Speaking of moving forward, I've heard both sides of the fence on this. I want to get your guys' take on it. Joaquin Phoenix is agreed, apparently, to play the Joker in a standalone origin movie directed by Todd Phillips with Martin Scorcese on as a producer for it. This won't take the place of Jared Leto. He'll still be like the mainline story for the DCEU. This is going to be one of like the solo movies that are separate from the main story. But yeah, what do you think? Joaquin Phoenix? Think he could do it?
So this is the one that was in the dumpster already. I mean, even if you have Scorsese's name on it, I think that you could have picked a better actor than Joaquin Phoenix. Like all I can picture is Commodus from what was it, Gladiator? I mean, I can't think of any that. The two roles that stand out to me with him is the Gladiator, him being the emperor and killing his dad, and then the uncle who wears a tinfoil hat and signs. Neither one of those strike me as a Joker-like character. I'm sorry, but
well, a lot of people didn't think Jared Leto would have been a good Joker, and I know a lot of. Well, I know a lot of people liked him, but he and you can even go down the list to what's his name, the one who died.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I mean, nobody would have predicted that he would have done a good Joker either.
I think for him, I think a lot of people, if you had seen that surfing movie, I think Surf Ninjas. No, there's a movie that they had done. It was about it was basically about Lords of Dogtown. That's what it's called. If you'd seen that and you saw his character in that, like that's what I think a lot of people pointed to say like, no, he actually has the chops to do that. You just have to like he's good as other characters. You just have to really just watch and give him a chance. But I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe he's got a. I mean, they wouldn't have picked him if they don't think he can do a good job. I just think that, you know, I mean, I think that from what I've seen of him, it's a tall order that you're asking.
Well, I guess my thing though was, why do we need this movie?
Yeah, good question.
Who likes Batman and doesn't already know the origin of the Joker? Like we've seen it in film before. Jack Nicholson, origin of the Joker.
Yeah,
it doesn't make.
Well, not only that, you always see Joker and Batman together.
Yeah,
and to not have them together. Well, I mean, we don't know for sure, but I can only assume we're not going to have them together.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if I see the point to this.
If you look at Gotham, the TV show, we've basically gotten a Joker. Did everybody flip out and think that was awesome? No. Like, I mean, it just doesn't make sense for them. It's like they don't know what they want to do moving forward with their films. So they're like, let's just do flashback movies because we don't know how to go forward.
Yeah. This is supposed to be in the 80s. Gotham City in the 80s. Like an origin story, apparently.
So, all right. I mean, and that's the thing that's kind of funny, too, is like, you know, they haven't full out nailed down an actual time frame in their movies. I mean, you would assume it's right now, but I mean, it's just kind of strange. So to have it go back to the 80s, you know, for that matter, that might end up conjuring up just like what Justin's saying about, like, you know, the Jack Nicholson joke, because that was the 80s when that movie came out. So I don't know. Like I have a hard time with you know, just the guy that they picked for it, and just kind of curious to see why they want to go this route with it. Like what is it that they hope to accomplish that other movies haven't? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: before Joaquin came on, they were trying to get Leonardo DiCaprio to play this role.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer?
Oh, definitely
Joaquin or DiCaprio?
Definitely. I mean, definitely Leo. I mean, if you see him
really in,
oh yeah, well, I mean, because he can play that crazy role. Like if you watch him in
Django.
Yeah, Django. Like he was sinister in Django. And then if you ever watch the scene on the beach, if you ever see that movie, when he kind of loses it a little bit, you know, he plays a good crazy in that movie as well. So it's just like, you know, he has the chops to do it. And I think people naturally thought he would because Scorcese is Hetch and they've worked together before. But I don't know. I mean, just I think that Joaquin Phoenix is just a bad choice. But I mean, you know, the question with Leonardo DiCaprio is, can you get him to? I mean, how much do you want to pay for this movie? Because
he's not going to be cheap.
I mean,
nah.
You know,
TiVo said that he thinks Leo said that he would never do a comic book movie, so he's pretty much out right there.
Well, I mean, yeah. So you have that, but then on top of it too, it's just like, even if they let's say he decided that, you know what, let me give one of these a shot, and it was just like, okay, you know, gives it a shot, but it's just like, how much money does he demand? I mean, just him alone, it's just like that's a lot of money. So.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. All right, I want to know from the chat, how many of you guys are personal use authorized witnesses for CBCS? Like, I know none of you are facilitators or, you know, running your companies unless you're working in a shop. But let me know if you guys are doing that. And the reason why I'm saying that, we're jumping over to the next subject if you didn't get that. It was just announced, actually, not that long ago, about 7 hours ago, Mark Roman. At CBCS, he's the guy that approves all of the AW apps. At least he signs off on mine. So big changes are coming to the authorized signature program for CBCS. It's gotten honestly really big and bloated pretty recently, and I think a lot of these like sort of micro submissions are clogging up the system, so to speak, which is really affecting turnaround times. I know we've all submitted books and they've been there for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. You know, so there's quite a few of these that are happening. So between that, and it sounds like something might have happened because they mentioned the integrity a little bit in the announcement for it. But he wanted to kind of pull in the reins a little bit, tighten up the security and the restrictions. around the actual program. So they're going to be doing a couple of things here, and I'm reading along with it just so I get my facts accurate. I don't want to misquote anything to you guys. So CBCS is going to create 2 categories: authorized witness, personal use, which is the one I was asking you guys about, and facilitators. So personal use AWs can witness signatures, but they're not allowed to take other people's books with them. So you can bring your own books to a con, have those signed, but I couldn't bring Edwin's, I couldn't bring TiVo's, I couldn't bring Redbeard's. I can only bring my own books. Facilitators are the ones who do other people's books for signing events and cons and stuff like that. Now, there's a couple requirements for a couple of these. It goes through some facilitator requirements. Anybody, it says, facilitators have to meet an annual submission volume in order to qualify as an AW. Anyone can request to be part of it, but your past submission history and everything is going to be factored into it. You have to apply annually, and you have 60 days. So say there's multiple signings, right? You want to go from this con, next month there's another con. Like say you have Jim Starlin's here, and then I don't know, Ron Lim is at a couple weeks. So you have 60 days between signings for each of the books. Okay.
Really?
Yep. And then once you get all the signatures on the book, you have to submit the book signed to CBCS within 10 business days, 2 weeks, in other words. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Facilitators submitting books with incomplete paperwork, or this is important too, or turning in books inside of window bags will have $1 per book surcharge added to that submission. And this all comes into effect on March 1st, so a couple of weeks from now. Now we get into the stuff that might affect all of us. Okay, personal use, AWs. So you have to apply for your AW status at least 2 weeks prior to whatever the signing event is. They'll be doing background checks on everybody, which is interesting because they have 2 weeks to get those in. I don't know if they're going to be using LexisNexis or what, but 2 weeks is kind of tight typically for a background check. So
also, if they're adding in a background check, are they going to up the price? Now they have to pay for a background check?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Background check. So like, what are they gonna check your credit and stuff? I don't understand.
No, I don't know. I think they're gonna do like a criminal history check, that type of stuff.
Oh, all right. So see if you have a history of fraud or something like that. Makes
it's
sense.
Not gonna be like they're looking for you defaulted on your student loan. You know what I mean? It's gonna be things that will affect if it gets out there like a news story about you and it will affect the integrity of their program. That's what they're concerned about.
All right. Well, because it's funny that you mentioned LexisNexis, and it just from jobs I've had, I know what that is. So it's just that's why I mentioned that. I was like, what do they have to why do they need to know that type of stuff?
There's different levels of how deep you can go with a search like that. So I don't think that they're gonna. And the more deeper you get, if that's how you say it, the more expensive it is. So
you have 2 different. If I'm not mistaken, you have like a state search, which is the cheapest, then you have a nationwide search, which is the most expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So okay. So let me continue here. You're not allowed to have your books travel for personal use. Oh wait, let me back up. You're not allowed to witness other people's books, and this is the big thing for folks that I've heard, I've read, and Edwin, I think you can back me up here. Mm-hmm. You have to submit at least 10 books per event.
That's crazy.
Okay, so you're looking at most of us, it's a couple books. You know what I mean? We go and we get a couple books signed, but now they want you to have 10 books. They're going to be like, if you want to submit, don't even think about it unless you got a good $300 to drop on a submission. You know?
Right.
At least, because from what I've been hearing, if you, let's say, let's face it, some of the artists are now charging for signatures anywhere from $2 with people like Bob McLeod or Joe Rubenstein, all the way up to $10 or $15 for people like Greg Capullo, Scott Snyder. So you tax that on top of each book, dude. You're looking at $400 or $500.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Rubenstein's $5 a book, and that I don't know if that. I remember when I got myself signed by him, and I wasn't getting anything graded. It was $5 per book that I wanted signed, and also I think he charged, I think it was like $10 for any book that was getting graded. So it's just like,
Okay.
Depending on the artist and everything. Yeah, you're right. Like you could be dropping, big money before you even get to the CBCS to submit it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are chiming in the chat already with the same thing, that 10 books is going to be a problem. And what's up, Justin?
How do you become a facilitator?
I mean, they said that there's an application process that you have to fill out, and I think that it depends on your past history. And I'm just paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me. Your past history and your volume, your book volume, that you're going to be submitted.
So, like me, someone who's never done any business with them whatsoever, I could not apply to be a facilitator right now.
Not a facilitator, but you could apply for personal use.
So anyone that would ever want to be a facilitator has to go on the personal thing first?
No, you have to meet the minimum requirements for the facilitator requirement is. And I'm trying to find that because I know that's been commented on.
Well, I'm just thinking of ways around this. Like, it seems like you could just become a facilitator. If the facilitator could be assigned to like a company versus a single person, that would be very easy to get around.
I'll tell you what you do, and don't tell anybody I told you this. But just get your buddies together, do personal witness, submit them under your name.
That's all you gotta do.
Yep.
Hey Edwin, I'm going to this con. You know, you got like 3 or 4 books you want me to send over? I'll add them to my stack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the biggest complaint is you can think like that, and that's kind of the trend that was happening on the Facebook page, because people were like, hey, I'm going to, Boston Comic Con. Anybody wants any book signed, send them here. And now you can't even do that unless you're a facilitator. Now, maybe you can do something like that outside, or maybe they'll still allow it. Well, probably not. But either way, that is a problem. But there are ways around it.
Yeah. My question is how, if it's personal use, so then what, it has to be, I guess if you're going to do it that way and it's going to be personal use, so long as you're having a friend take care of it for you, I guess the only thing would be that you'd have to just trust them to send it back to you.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. You have to know the people. That would be that whatever that transaction is, you have to be trusting whoever you engage in that with. Now, it does say you're not allowed to witness other people's books. So what you could do is sell the book for like 50 cents, and then they could buy it back for like 50 cents. So it's your book. I'm just saying,
Well, maybe that's one of the issues that they've had. I don't know. Jesse, you actually follow the forums more than I do. I just started following Mark Roman's Authorized Signature Facebook page probably 3 months ago. So maybe they have had issues where people sent books to somebody and got books missing, stolen, or damaged. Who knows? But because some of the people are like, yeah, there's a lot of issues with CBCS. I haven't seen the issues. As a matter of fact, I think that the more people you have that can get signatures the legit way, get yellow labels and all that, the better. Because I always hated the fact that I had to go through people like Anastasia's or a comic shop, or you know what I'm saying, or I have to be a dealer that submits 200 books a year just to be able to have that privilege. Like CBCS provide the fact that you don't need to do all those things. You can just do it yourself as long as you meet certain guidelines and you follow within their policies that they ask you to follow in, which I think is great. Now, maybe somebody can chime in the chat on what are the concerns out there, because I still haven't seen anything.
I'm trying to find the requirements for facilitator because it didn't really specify it in what I read.
Tim makes a good point. He's like, and I've heard this before. We all know Adam Hughes' signature is just his initials.
Yeah,
that could be pretty easily faked, probably, in my opinion.
AH, yeah.
AH, that's it.
Yes,
yeah. Well, the good news is, if you're just sending in books for a blue label, this will probably cut down significantly on turnaround times for your blue labels.
Yeah. I was going to say that, so for regular submissions, it should be fine, but just to have them autographed and witnessed at a con is going to be, which is probably going to end up being something where, the lines may end up being longer for that because you got to submit at least 10 books. It's just like, I mean, I wonder if that'll come down with time. Like if it's just something where people, if they see the numbers drop because people don't want to drop $300 submitting books to them, I wonder if they'll kind of, ease up on that and maybe make it something more, more manageable, something that's not quite as strict as 10 and just as pricey as 10. And I was curious what you meant because I wasn't sure what you meant by you said micro submissions. Like what do you mean by that?
Oh, so you're sending in like 1 or 2 books versus a giant stack. That's all I meant by that.
I mean, I don't have anything graded. I've never had anything graded from a con or anything like that. So stuff like that is kind of just strange to me. Like I don't quite see. I mean, I guess for me, if I was to just come in and not know anything about this, I wouldn't know what I was missing. So it'd be kind of like, okay. But on the other side of it, being someone who doesn't submit books and stuff like that, if I was to go ahead and start, that would kind of discourage me because it's going to be so expensive. It's just like, well,
somebody like
caught up in just submitting to you guys. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, somebody like you could just go to one of the facilitators that's already at a show. But some of the issues that I'm seeing is, number one, smaller shows don't usually have a facilitator. But the biggest issue that just was brought to my attention just before Jesse started the show, sometimes you have an artist or a writer that only has like a 3 or 5 book limit.
Yeah.
So if you got something like that going on, like, dude, like, what do?
Yeah, you need a buddy with you.
Buddy system. Yeah.
But that's 3 people in that line.
There's a bunch of people that have the 3 and 5. Like I think it's I know that Capullo and Snyder both have a 5 book limit, and that's collectively. So if you get 5 books signed for the total, it's just the way it is. Like they, just because their lines are so long, they can't afford to have everybody sitting there pulling out 10 books a piece or whatever it is because there's so many of them. So I wonder if I also wonder that too. Like now that you bring that up, maybe if some of the artists and stuff, I get annoyed and be like, look, I can't. These people want to submit these books. I have my limit. Like I can't be signing 10 books a day for everybody, or 10 books per person. So maybe something that needs a little bit more fine tuning. I mean, we're just hearing about the initial, rollout of this. I mean, maybe it's something that, after a couple cons go by and they see that, maybe things aren't working the way they thought, they'll go ahead and rethink it a little bit.
Well, I honestly think it's going to happen sooner than that. If you've been following along with what's being discussed in the CBCS fan pages and stuff like that, it's not good. And this is the only issue, in my opinion, out of the new rules and regulations that they've put out there for their AW program. I said it's an easy fix. Just bring it down to 5. But one of the biggest issues, another issue that people are having, I think I posted this on the Jesse's Facebook Messenger, is that some people believe that this is an attempt to kind of weed out the little people and only show attention or not favoritism, but just give the attention to where the facilitators are at, the bigger dealers and submitters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Really? So you think it's just a kind of a way to kind of get out the casual, the casual submissions, and just to get people to be like, look, you're going to submit to us as business, as big business. We need, people that are going to go ahead and provide us with books year round.
Right.
Instead of the person that goes to a con, gets a couple books signed by their favorite artist, and then just kind of moves on with their day. Right. That's kind of that's definitely kind of a sinister way to do business if that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, this may be something that came down from Beckett. One thing I just wanted to point out: if you are at a larger con or CBCS is there with a table, you can go up to them with 1 book and say, "Hey, I want to get this witnessed," and they'll bring somebody from their booth to wherever witness it, and then that way you can submit 1 book. But that would be assuming that they're at the con with you. Like they're not typically at the.
So does that CBS? So that person have to like stand in line with you?
Yeah,
you gotta like talk to that person for an hour.
Yep, hang out with you, get it signed, walk back to the table. They can't let that book out of their eyesight.
That's horrible.
It's kind of like that happens at Boston Comic Con sometimes. You feel bad for those guys because they're just sitting there and they have nothing to say to each other. They're just kind of just chilling back, and the guy's like, "I'm just here to see a book. I'm here for the next hour."
That's right.
I hope they get paid well.
Isn't it all volunteer?
Do not.
Some of it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What? Jesse, does it say what the annual submission is?
For facilitators?
Yeah.
It doesn't say a number, but it just says that they do have to meet a annual minimum volume requirement.
And they just don't state what that is yet.
But it doesn't say what that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I guess they based it on that, and then your prior submission history to kind of determine if you're eligible or not.
That seems a little bit too strict to me, because I mean, if you so Evan, because you submit books, I mean, like, how often would you? What's an average submission for you? Like, I mean, do you think that you would fall within the guidelines of being a facilitator, or would you have to be I guess considered personal?
We can't find the guidelines for facilitator.
Well, I'm just saying.
No. It's going to be a pretty decent amount. It's not going to be like 10 books a year. It's going to be probably like 50, 100 books. Pretty good quality to where it's apparent that it's your business. That's what you spend a lot of your time doing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, not only that, but when you try to sign up as a because you got the different tiers that you can get a membership in. You got like the lowest all the way to the dealer tier, which they request when you ask for that to give them links to your eBay page, any kind of website, social media platforms that you have in which you are selling. And for whatever reason, they want to see that because I guess they want to see your books from CBCS that you're selling. I don't know. But I think that I would meet that requirement because I submit at least 7 or 8 books minimum whenever I go and get books signed. So an extra 2 or 3 books wouldn't really be a problem for me. It's just I just don't like being told like I have to do it because I might not, something might happen and I might not be able to. And not only that, man, but you got to I got to press and clean stuff before I go through that whole process, and so you have to do it either before or after, and so there is a process involved, but I don't know. It definitely sounds like what people are saying, that it's not for the quote unquote little people. It's for people that are dealing and selling slabs.
Absolutely. So I think there'll be. Oh, go ahead.
I was just thinking, like, what if 4 or 5 guys that had been with the personal use level got together and started a company, and now their company applies for a facilitator. It's very easy to get an LLC. That's why I was wondering about the facilitator requirements. If it's just a company that they mainly want instead of a single person or something for that, that's very easy to get around. So I don't know. Take it as good or a bad thing, but there may be a way to get around it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, somebody will find a way for that's for sure. But
I don't know, but like even Legend said, don't even worry about that. Just send it in and get a red label. Who cares? Red labels look cooler because they're red.
Yeah. Where the hell? I was trying to find something. Some bish. Oh well. All right. So I want to give some shout outs here. We'll go around and give some final thoughts and plugs for ourselves. And we'll be on our way. So Lords of the Long Box, I'm going to shout him out just as he's dipping out of the show. Peace. AG Surfer, saying bye. Nice for having you here as well, AG. Rag718, thanks for stopping by. Splash Page Comics, great Legend show. Let me tell you something. He's spitting that truth all the time. Brian B, nice to have you. Really happy that you're continually joining the show here. It's nice to have you. Biggest comic news of the week. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, Darkhawk is back in a new mini. He was announced along with a couple others as part of Infinity Countdown. So all you Darkhawk fans out there,
all 5 of y'all,
you got something to look forward to.
The one shot was pretty okay. So
pretty okay.
Okay. I like it. All right, cool. Stay Puff is here. Alex the Comic Hoarder. He's got to go run again, I'm sure. Staying fit. Nice to have you as well. Otaku Dan. Lots of people here. Jeez, the cat is just rolling on and on. A couple other people, actually, I wanted to shout out too. Comic Book Brother. CGC does at some shows. Yes, that's very true. Redbeard is here as well. Mr. Unknown is still with us. Happy you're still here. This guy here, who is it? Exile State Comics. I don't know. No,
whoever that guy.
Yeah, who the hell?
Sounds
yeah, cool.
Who's this dude?
And yeah. Oh, and I do want to say thank you to Contender as well.
Yep. Catron showed up. Rebel showed up.
That's right.
Apparently, they're going to have a show after this, so we're all going to have to head over there in a little while.
Yeah, right. That's what I was just thinking.
Is it on?
It's on Level. It's on Rebel. Rebel.
Okay. Rebel Cat. I think they were going with maybe.
Rebel Cat.
Rebel Comics.
Oh, bam! Cat Ren.
Yeah, it'll be on Rebel Comics.
Cat Ren's my favorite Cat Ren. So
that's right.
Nice to see her live. Should be fun. So yeah, head on over to Rebel Comics after this, and they'll be kicking off their premiere episode of their very own show. All right, guys, what do you want to go ahead and plug or shout out or comment on or not? But go ahead and start, Chris.
So yeah, I'm a little bit behind with making videos, so I have a couple that I have to make. So look for those coming up. I would say this weekend. Other than that, thank you everybody for coming in, spending some time with us. Definitely had some fun talking about all these different topics and everything. And see you guys all next week.
All right, cool. Seeking Near Mint, nice to see you. You missed everything live, but you know what you can do.
I know, right?
Go ahead and watch it later on. You can catch up on everything. Same with you, Evan. Nice to see a comment from you. That's our golden age homie right there. All right, cool. Who wants to go next?
Just big shout out to everybody who showed up in the chat. That was awesome. A lot of fun tonight. Some fun topics. Crazy trailers, man. Trailers.
Right.
So many trailers, messing with our minds, getting us all like excited and making us sad all at the same time. It's crazy what they do with us. So I enjoyed that. More stuff coming over here, changing up the background and everything this week, so that'll look different before Sunday Morning Comics. If not right then, it'll be the first time you see it. So good stuff.
Yeah. I just want to thank everybody for coming in, everybody in the chat. It was a good show. I don't really know what else to plug other than Freestyle Fridays. Next Friday, I won't be having anything tomorrow because I'll be going to the show, but I'll be back probably with Jose for episode 5, I think. And I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Damn.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I still haven't got a topic yet, but I'm thinking about pissing all over Star Wars: The Last Jedi. But we'll see.
Oh boy. Nice. Oh boy. Nice. All right, cool. Well, I got a little show coming up this weekend called the People's Con. It's run by one of the artists and then a local shop in one of my local towns here, a couple towns over. Should be fun. They have pretty much everything. They got tables, they got artists, some local people, and one thing that I'm looking forward to, you're never gonna guess. It's a barbecue eating contest.
Nice.
Yeah,
just don't touch any comics.
That's what I was thinking. I got to make sure my hands are clean after.
Yeah,
I will say that
that's unique, right?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
I've never seen anything like that.
The
barbecue eating contest, like
yeah,
that'd be fun, man. It's just like
not only get that itis.
Oh my god, that's true.
He's gonna crash and take a nap.
Exactly. This local artist, he goes by Silverback. He actually did the one of the commissions I have up here. He was telling me about it. I'm like, okay, just stop right there. You had me at BBQ. I'm going. So, yeah. So it'll be fun. So my point of bringing that up is we're doing a video on it. So that should be coming up on my channel. I'm doing another history video for a certain character. I'm not going to tell you because I don't want anyone to steal it from me. Next to Way Back When. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Way Back When is the shop. Brian and I were talking about that recently. That's like a cool like antique shop, apparently, that like has everything. I haven't been in there, but I really want to check it out. Sounds pretty neat.
I forgot. I've got a show coming up on the 25th of this month.
Yeah.
And Matt Wilson's going to be there, colorist for Marvel.
Cool. Yeah.
And so like a close friend of mine is friends with him. So I'm going to get the like introduction.
Nice. I like it.
Right? Pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, cool. So that is it for this episode, guys. Episode 72 of Common Conversation. And as we just summarized here at the end, we went over a lot of stuff, a lot of trailers. Big thing with CBCS that has a lot of people up in arms, whether you're a facilitator or personal. Seems like everybody's got an opinion about it. And I'm sure this is not the last you will hear about it. So keep your ears to the ground. Let us know, too. If you're watching this later and you found anything interesting in terms of the topics, go ahead and drop us a comment. Let us know you stopped by. And, of course, please visit everybody's individual channels. Give them a look around. Give them a sub. Give them some likes and all that good stuff. And we will be back next Thursday for episode 73. That's it, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.